Hi everyone, a great good evening. We can wait 5 4 minutes. Some students will join, so we can wait 5 minutes for those students. Thank you. Hi everyone. If you all are hearing my voice, please mention the chat if you are hearing my voice so that I can check my network.
So we are
Please
able
drop
to hear
the
your voice.
please drop the message in chat box. Yeah, okay. A warm welcome to everyone. This is Mubin from AllPro Trainings. Um, can you your self introduction in the chat box so that I can able to find out you are working or student. If you're working, where you're working, if you're studying, where you're which college and what degree you are now doing. So you can. It is easy to connect with you people. If you are doing that anything, please mention in the chat box.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Sony Singh, you're a college student. Okay. Gupta, your BTech CSE final year. Maybe the sessions hope you can get more knowledge about SQL. Okay, Sony Singh, which final year you are? B final year, Yuvaraj. Yes, which stream you are? This is both useful for both IT and non-IT students. Yeah, so many are responding. Maybe so many are active. I think so. Thanks for responding. Rohit Chana, you're the BCA. Yeah, Shivash Raj. He is also doing BTech third year. Okay, good. Most of people are studying first year and final year. Hope the sessions will be get you the more knowledge. Yeah, working also joined. Good to hear. Hi, Pratiksha. Yeah, you are also call student. And thank you for responding and active in the webinar. Okay, let's start this session. A warm welcome to each and everyone who joined this masterclass. Myself, Mobin Banu from AllPro Trainings, who is presenting this masterclass to you people. And I'm going to the introductions about now the AP trainings. So first of all, I'm going to give the introductions about the AP trainings, the AllPro trainings. We are providing all kind of trainings, especially the IT technology, electrical, electronics, and soft skill. In the IT technology, we are providing more than top 100 technologies training all over the world. Telling about our achievement, we have already trained more than 10,000 students all over the world, especially in USA, European countries, and over the India, in which most of the students are placed in various MNC all over the world in the excellent packages. So we are providing 3 types of training. The first one is the master class that you are attending now. And the second one is flash course, which is in for 10 hours. And the final one is full course, which will come the more than 3 hours. More than 30 hours. So I'm going to explain what you are going to be learn this session. So first of all, the AP trainings webinar overview. First, the introduction participations, and some students are already joined the introduction participation. They are said about themselves, they are working or they are studying. Second, content is webinar content that it will take a 45 minutes. Trainer will explain you in detailed manner SQL about the what we are going to be studies and the features that trainer will take. And third one is queries. It will take 20 minutes. If you have any doubts regarding the SQL webinar, you can ask in chat box. Trainer will explain you regarding about your doubts. And for fourth one is queries and feedback. If you have the queries and feedback about IPO trainings and SQL, definitely you can ask in the chat box. Myself or trainer will explain you. And our next is the APP offer. What kind of offers we are going to be see here? That I can explain 5 minutes. The finally, students guide and what kind of the guide we are providing from our side. That also we will give you in 5 minutes feedback. So now we are going to be start the masterclass. Before I will going to introduce the trainer. He is the Ramakrishna. He is trained more than 200 students. So he will start the class now. Hi Ramakrishna.
Hey, hi Mobin, and hello everyone. Good evening.
Yeah, you can start the session. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you. Hi guys. First of all, thank you so much for joining, and good evening everyone. So since we are done with the introductions, and my name is Ramakrishna, and you can call me Ram, and I work for a IT company. I have 6+ years of experience as a SQL Server database administrator, and I'm a Microsoft certified DBA. So let's try to understand what a SQL DBA is at first step. SQL DBA is actually two words, right? One is SQL and another one is DBA. If you look into DBA, it's a IT role which is described as a database administrator who pretty much takes care about the database management, installation, and configuration part. And if we look at the first part, which is SQL, so here it means Microsoft SQL Server when we mean SQL DBA, but there are other flavors of the SQL as well, which is Oracle and IBM DB2 and Progress, Postgres, and other form of databases are there. And basically there are two forms of databases are there. One is relational and non-relational. And if we see the relational databases where we store the data into the tables and relate the tables with one another, right? So basically it is like a student table and courses table, something like that. Okay, and if you guys have any doubts, please feel free to stop me or message in the chat window. I'll try to answer. Um, if not, okay. Let me see if my volume is okay.
Ram, your volume is fine. You can proceed. Actually, might be he has to increase his volume in his handset or something like that.
Oh, got it. Okay, okay. Yeah, thanks for that. And okay, so that's what DBA means. And so let's understand why this role is here and why at first place why the data is important. And as you know, the the growth of IT and information technology is growing very fast in recent days. So the companies are collecting much more data around their products and services, which helps them to drive their business decisions. So data has become a new oil and very much important to individual level as a persons we are, and for the organizations as well. So we store the data in different forms, and databases is one of the form. We store the data in documents, we store the data in photos, video format, and other formats. And the databases are one of the structured format that we store the data. And these particular database softwares that we discussed before, like Microsoft SQL Server and IBM DB2, Oracle, and other database servers, are pretty much used by the enterprises to store their data, store and process their data. So why do we need to have a special type of software to store the data, right? So these softwares provides the flexibility to the organizations to securely store their data and provide the access for the people who are only required to access, and they provide the special performance abilities to access and store their data. And It's like they provide the high availability features and all sort of stuff. You'll be understanding much more into why this database management softwares are existing. I mean, came into the picture, and much more detail in further sessions. But for now, these are in place, and any software, right, in real world came to address the real world problem or the requirement. So here the requirement is to store and process and use the enterprise data efficiently. So that's where this database management systems came into the picture. So IBM first time defined the documentation for SQL, and then based on that documentation, several other companies has developed the software, like Microsoft developed the SQL Server, and IBM itself developed a DB2, and Oracle developed Oracle Server, and there are some more relational database management systems are there in the market. Okay, and so um, if you I mean, if you understand the importance of the data, so there are different by growing this needs for the data, there are different roles evolved around this data management, and so some of the roles you might have heard, like data engineers, data scientists, and data analysts, so and database administrator, etc. So some of the roles are relevant to the development of the data tools and structures, and some of the roles are relevant to the administration. The role that we are discussing is closely related to the data administration rather than the developing and reporting the data. Okay, and I see a comment that so I'm really sorry, guys. I was running late from the other things, so I don't have anything to present at this moment. But so going along, I'll see if anything I can share it and explain. I'm really sorry for that. So, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, you have explained about the DB2 developed by IBM and Oracle developed by Oracle Server, something like that. So I would like to ask you a small question, like if you are going to develop software which will be handled by 5 million users, like a huge volume of users, if you are using any kind of application. So, and that application is going to talk to any server like SQL, Oracle, and DB2. So, which server will be most feasible for handling like a whole world population is going to use my application? You just think in that way. So, in that case, which server will be optimal, whether it is Oracle or DB2 or SQL Server?
It's pretty much like most of these softwares that we discussed, right? Those are developed by, I mean, for the real world enterprise level data management standards. So it's pretty much like they can handle in case of the number of users, right? Most of them can handle pretty much same number of users, but what you'll see in the difference is the amount of the features that they provide. And they do have a different editions of the softwares, like enterprise edition, developer edition, and standard edition, where they expose only some set of the features at for some editions. So if you're going for the, let's say for example, if you're taking Oracle Enterprise Edition, you'll get pretty much of everything that they're providing. But if you're going for the standard edition, you'll get it at the less cost, but you'll get the less features. But to answer your question, and if you compare the Oracle Server with the SQL Server, the features you'll get at the Oracle Enterprise Edition is different, and the features you get at SQL Enterprise Edition is different. But so as the cost also. But it all depends on your application and your requirements. Let's say if I'm if I wanted to implement some of the features, like some 6 or 7 features that are already providing by SQL Server, so I don't have to go for the Oracle for the additional features. So that I don't have to pay more, right?
Okay. So
Okay.
for my question is like, if I have a whole world population is going to access my application, and my application is talking to the server. So which server you prefer, like Oracle or SQL or DB2?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I said before. In terms of the users, right? I don't want to get into the futures. As I told you, they have different features to offer. Some are other vendor having benefit over their features, and some other vendor has more benefits. But let's not get into that. But in terms of the users, right? So all of these things are enterprise data platforms designed to provide the support for multi-user access. So it's more of future specific while you are selecting the relational database management system rather than the number of users that you wanted to have access. So
Okay, fine.
in terms of the number of users, they pretty much do good.
So from your conversation, if I buy enterprise edition for SQL Server,
Yeah.
Oracle, and DB2, it would be fine for the huge number of users. That's what you're telling.
Correct. Most of these are designed for the enterprise level, so they support the multi-user access. And if you compare even Oracle SQL or DB2, they do support pretty much of concurrent number of users. But the features that they provide are differ somewhat. So that's what actually organizations look for. So, for example, if we take any organization, they didn't go pretty much with a single database. So they have different applications for the different storing their different data. So the financial applications data they may be storing into some other into Oracle. Due to some features, some security features that they wanted to implement at organization level might not be available at DB2 or SQL Server, and some features might not be available at Oracle and will be available for the SQL Server. So it's more of application specific. At the enterprise architecture level, they're going to decide what my application features are required, what my data, how much important data I'm going to store. Let's say my financial application data is much more important than the marketing data, and my sales and orders data is much more important than some other perspective. So let's say if they have some 40-50 applications and some 10 applications comes into the financial data category, they might want to go to store that data into SQL Server databases, and their marketing data they may want to use the MySQL server, which is open source. So it really depends upon the enterprises to choose the database systems based on their applications. So think in this way, even a single organization can have multiple database servers depending upon the features that the RDBMS systems offer, and the cost that they wanted to store, and the importance of the data that they wanted to store.
So which is more secured, Ram?
Security terms, so we might have to go into much deeper to analyze like which is more secure and all.